So the SEC filed its final objection to Judge Netburn's ruling that they have to turn over all of the Bill Hinman documents related and surrounding the Bill Hinman speech. So in this final 10-page document, their final objection, I'm going to tell you what they told the judge, and something of which I think they have some guts to actually say on paper. So I'm going to tell you what the SEC is arguing and why they want to keep these emails hidden. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and the crypto markets and where it's going in the near term as well as the long term, because there are now more technical analysts jumping on board what's going to happen with Bitcoin over the coming months. So I'm going to tell you what some of these extreme numbers could look like by the end of this year and by the end of 2025. Also, we have the FOMC meeting notes coming out, and those meeting minutes haven't come out at the time of this recording, but we are going to be waiting on seeing whether or not those notes are dovish or hawkish. And so as we're entering bird watching mode, I'm going to tell you what some of the analysis that some of the top traders say is going to happen to crypto. Also, some information about what could happen to Ethereum post-merge to proof of stake. There's a growing consensus about what's going to happen just before the merge as well as just after it. And I'm going to give you a few things to keep an eye on before that happens. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And before I get into this video, I wanted to remind you to check out the link in the description below to public.com. You can join for free and fund your account with as little as $20 and receive up to $300 worth of a free stock, ETF, or a cryptocurrency. So go ahead and take advantage of it. The link is in the description below. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So we're going to talk about the SEC filing what seems to be, what is hopefully their final objection to this major ruling that Judge Netburn has made, 3 or 4 times now, ordering the SEC to turn over the Bill Hinman documents, the Bill Hinman speech drafts, the emails, the communications surrounding this speech. Now, previously, the SEC has submitted a 20-page objection to all of Judge Netburn's rulings on this, and this is their final 10-page objection to it after Ripple, of course, filed their thoughts on it. And what they did with this 10-page analysis seems to be a whole lot of nothing. They basically reiterated all of their stances in terms of why they thought that the Bill Hinman speech was his personal opinion and why they still think it's the SEC's work. Still trying to play both sides of the same coin, and when you do that to a judge that's called you a hypocrite for changing your position, I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do. So not only are they arguing that the DPP, deliberative process privilege, is still in play and still should protect all these communications, it is at the same time arguing that client attorney privilege also in play and should be available to be used to keep these communications concealed. So they're literally trying to argue that both things are still relevant. While at the same time, the very first page of this objection letter said, we don't believe that any of these emails and communications and discussions or the speech is even relevant to the case at all. And then they went on for several pages giving all of their objections. So what some people are saying is that the SEC looks like they're basically out of options. They're running out of arguments. They don't know what else to say because they really don't have a leg to stand on. They basically argued the same thing over and over, but in this one including a little bit of a kicker, because they literally said that Judge Netburn and her orders got the law wrong. Yes, they literally called the judge wrong in her reasoning. And to me, that seems a little bit gutsy, but someone on Twitter said, no, that's kind of standard par for the course. If you're giving an objection to a ruling, you kind of have to call the judge wrong. So nonetheless, the SEC calling the judge wrong on this one, I guess we're going to see how far this one goes. Now, of course, the decision on this is going to be major because once there is a ruling on this, if it goes in favor of Ripple, the SEC is out of options except for going to the higher courts, which would next be the Second Circuit, and after that, the Supreme Court. So are they actually going to take it all the way through those levels to keep all these communications and documents sealed from public view? I guess that remains to be seen. But I did see an interesting tweet regarding this, because at the end of the SEC's objection, they actually offered up what they called the speech drafts to the judge for an in-camera review, which basically means an in-private review, so only the judge would see them. But here's the interesting part. In my opinion, I think that's just the SEC trying to be extremely sneaky, because what the judge ordered wasn't just the speech drafts. No. They are seeking not only the speech drafts, but the emails, discussions, and all of the communications surrounding the speech with all 38 people that were on this email chain discussing the speech. Not just the speech drafts, SEC, because in those communications lies the real motives behind what the SEC is arguing against Ripple. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. All right, so now let's talk about the greater crypto market, specifically Bitcoin. There was a couple technical analysts that I saw was on Kitco News giving interviews talking about their opinions of what the Bitcoin price is going to be doing, them and everybody else, of course. Now, these technical analysts, they work for North Star and Bad Charts. And what they seem to be saying from a technical perspective is something that some of the others that I've been watching have been saying as well, in that right now, overall, over the long-term picture, Bitcoin looks like it's in a bit of a basically an inverse cup and handle technical trading pattern, which means if that's the case, we are at the top part of the handle and it's ready to turn south. Now, this could be changed by what the Fed does, this could be changed by other factors, but from a technical perspective, it looks like the Bitcoin price is going to get lower. Since it was rejected off of the 25,000 number, it's been heading south to 23,000. So here's something to look out for. Bitcoin has the 200-week moving average at about $23,000. It's used that as support for the entire month of August. Here's the other thing to look out for. The US dollar index, the DXY, is bumping up against its own resistance level at about 107, and it's been bumping up against that resistance level for the entire month of August. Now, some of the crypto traders that I follow have noted that several times whenever these FOMC meeting minutes come out, no matter what they say, it simply just adds volatility to the market, at least for several days afterward. However, I did just read a point that said the last time that the FOMC meeting minutes came out and it was dovish, that's basically what sparked this last rally for about the past 6 weeks. So if it continues to be more of a dovish statement, then yes, we could continue to see upward movements in things like the crypto markets and other markets as well. However, if it is hawkish and it looks like big rate hikes are still coming in September, well, then I think you know what's going to happen. And that goes to back up what these technical analysts are saying about Bitcoin. And that is that $10,000 is likely. Now, as much as people do not want to hear that, it seems to me like a great buying opportunity if it actually gets to these levels. Now, in the interview with Kitco News, it was actually Kevin Wadsworth and Patrick Kareem. They've been making their analysis that Bitcoin is going to go to $10,000. And if you've been watching this channel for the last month or two, you know that I've mentioned several others that are saying the same thing. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen this week or even this month, but there's a probability that by the end of the year, we could be looking at a $10,000 to $12,000 Bitcoin, some higher, some lower, who knows? Along with Benjamin Cowen, along with several other analysts that I've been watching, are pointing to a similar direction. It's either going to move sideways or a bottom out towards the end of this year, but then what's going to happen? Well, probably a long consolidation period. However, in late 2023, into late 2024, Bitcoin is going to commence on a huge bull run. Now, a lot of this is backed up by the technical charts. A lot of this is backed up by the news. For instance, BlackRock jumping into the space, as well as several other pieces of news that are extremely bullish for the cryptocurrency market. But as of right now, we are bird watching to see if those meeting minutes are dovish or hawkish, meaning our rate hike's going to be a little bit less than what we thought or a little bit more. All right, finally, I want to talk about the Ethereum merge because there's a growing consensus of people that say, when this merge happens or just before this merge happens, there's probably going to be a sell-off. Now, how low is Ethereum going to go before the sell-off? Well, nobody really knows. It may just dip a little bit. However, there seems to be a growing numbers. A lot of them have to do with people in the mining community. A lot of them have to do with people in the staking community, some of which weren't so happy that to learn that if you stake on Ethereum's new proof of stake network, you're going to be having to stake your coins for 6 to 12 months, having a 6 to 12 month locking period. There was also a few analysts that pointed out that Ethereum right now seems to be heading towards the peak of its rally, but this kind of just goes along with many of the other markets, including what Bitcoin is doing. But from a technical perspective, you can see what they're saying. The RSI is significantly weakening and it is looking very bearish. And in fact, some of them say that Ethereum could be a great buy post-merge after the price drop. All right, guys, and I did want to remind you that coming in September, I will be launching that line of t-shirts and merchandise featuring Late Night Grind Community, XRP, crypto, as well as several others. So let me know in the comment section down below what you would like to see, as well as take part in the poll that I have up on the community tab on my channel, where I give some of the options and you can answer there as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.